leftover Y2K stuff.
Except it's
I think it's just those
July
links that don't work.
20th. I don't
You
have
gotta
August
symbol
on
to get
here.
in there.
Where did August go?
Ms. Cochran, would you like to read us an invocation tonight?
May I please?
I would love for you to please do that.
You're up.
Will everyone please stand and bow your heads? Dear Heavenly Father, as we prepare to begin this new school year, we ask for your blessings for all students, parents, grandparents, faculty, support staff, and administrative folks to have a calm and productive year. Wrap all in your protective arms. Plus, if we see anyone that's struggling, give us courage and guidance so we may assist them. And we thank you, Lord, for a successful Yukon school supply event this past Saturday to help students with their needs for school supplies. May it help them and encourage them to do well in school. We ask these things in your name, O Lord. Amen.
Amen.
May we please face the flag and say together the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, call to order, roll call, please.
Mr. Beamer.
Here.
Mrs. Tanner.
Here.
Mr. Colson.
Here.
Mr. Sanders.
Here.
Here.
All right. Dr. Simmeroth?
So we need to make sure that we put this in the minutes for the record so that we can adhere to some of the E-rate policies for our new Surrey Hills Pre-K to officially state that the Links for Learning building was purchased for the sole intent of the Surrey Hills Pre-K staff, and has been constructed and will be filled with kiddos and teachers this school year. Does that handle it, Jason?
It does.
We just need to have that in the minutes for them to complete the filing for that. And there's so many things getting ready to happen. We have the new teacher luncheon tomorrow, teachers report tomorrow, and we have the breakfast on the 13th. Kids start back on the 14th, and I know all that's going to be, I'm sure, in that list. We are super excited. It's going to be a great year. And then we have a special presentation tonight. Mr. Henson, come on up. Bring your gang over there. Gang of one. A one-man wolf pack.
Mr. Sanders, board, I also want to thank you for allowing us to have a strength program. I think this is an intricate part of us being successful in athletics. And so I have with me one of our strength coaches, Mr. Landon Harper. He's going to talk about the progress that our kids made over the past couple of weeks during the summer strength program.
Appreciate it. I'm excited to be up here in front of you guys to tell you about how our summer strength program went. If you'll go to the next slide. So we had roughly 300 athletes across 10 different sports. The plan for each group was we had 3 total body workouts per week for each group. It was spread out over 4 days so that each group could get into the weight room a fair amount of time. We tested speed and jumps weekly, with our primary goals to be increasing speed and power across all groups. So these are the metrics we tested. In the main gym weight room, which is where I was, we tested 5 weekly. In the wellness center, we tested more specifically for each group because they're mostly our preseason group, so they were training in preparation for their incoming fall season. I had primarily off-season groups. So we tested a flying 10, which is just a way of saying a sprint. I included a picture here. So flying 10 includes a build-up, varying lengths, and then we time their speed for 10 yards. And then you probably can't see it, but in the very back of that picture on the right, there's a little monitor where their time pops up. So we did a 5-yard build-up, which is a measure of their acceleration. So what kind of top speed can you get to with only 5 yards of build-up? And then a max velocity flying 10, which we used a 20-yard build-up. I have a couple reasons there why we use the flying 10. It's an instantaneous velocity rather than their average if you recorded it over a 40-yard dash. you wouldn't really know what kind of top speed they got up to. But if we measured that peak 10-yard fly, we see their true maximum speed. Then we tested a broad jump to see what our horizontal force, what kind of power we're producing horizontally, vertical jump for vertical force development, and then a triple broad jump to see how we could repeat that power we were developing in the lower body. And here's our results for the main gym. The main gym included, I think, 7 sports. We had boys soccer, track and field, girls track and field, softball, and girls basketball, along with boys and girls tennis. And so you can see we increased across all of our metrics. I would classify it as a very successful summer for these groups. These are average increases of the group in total. So I believe it was 85 athletes in the main gym. So an average increase in vertical jump of 0.37 inches, 4.39 inches in the broad jump, 7 inches in the triple broad jump, and a decrease in their acceleration time by 0.03 of a second, and their max velocity time also 0.03 of a second. We go back one more, sorry. When we look at the acceleration and max velocity times, 0.03 of a second is relatively 0.3 to 5 miles per hour that they were able to run faster. So, and you can see I ran what's called a paired samples t-test to compare the data pre and post. So their baseline numbers compared with the numbers we got at the end of the summer. And they were statistically significant improvements across all metrics. And you can see our volleyball group also had a very successful summer with their approach vertical jump, where they get 2 steps into their jump, kind of like you would see when they go up at the net for a block. That increased by 1.8 inches, average across the board, along with 0.05 of a second in their acceleration. Okay, now you can go to the next one. Our baseball group had an average increase in their broad jump of 3.4 inches. Our primary goal with them was lower body power, so that was the metric that we really focused on with them. Again, it was statistically significant. And then with our football groups, both varsity and freshmen, the varsity group includes junior varsity. So it was roughly 85 athletes, and our freshman was around 50. They increased their acceleration times by 0.02 of a second in both, and then as well as their max velocity time, while our freshmen decrease their acceleration time by 0.06 and their max velocity by 0.03. It's common to see, especially in that football varsity group, it's probably our most well-trained group as far as they have the highest training age. So as that training age increases, with those improvements we're going to see get smaller and smaller, but they become more and more meaningful, in my opinion, because they're harder to get. But I would classify this as a very successful summer for all these sports that participated. If we go to the next one, the things that stood out to me the most, athletes that showed up regularly improved. Regardless of what we're going to track, consistency is the most important thing that we get from these athletes. And then as we collect data throughout the school year, and particularly in our preseason sports that we had this summer, we can really get a good look at their readiness. So, for example, softball girls that were coming off a long weekend, their first day of the week, those sprints and jumps were usually lower and slower. They're not quite recovered to the point that they're going to hit their best numbers. It allows us to make better choices for the interest of athlete health and performance. Last thing, one great thing about what we've got going on in the school year is that this summer is now not the most important thing for us to focus on, whereas in schools that don't have a strength program throughout the school year, this is the only time you'll see these athletes consistently in the weight room. But for us, because we have them all school year, we're going to see them, starting day 1 all the way through the last day of the school year. So it just gives us a continued opportunity to continue to develop their athletic qualities. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
What about the sports that weren't represented in this? Will they have their opportunity just during the school year?
Yes, every sport was able to sign up. So we had
Okay.
some sports that just had no signups.
Okay, so like golf and
Yeah, we had one
wrestling.
female golfer. I forgot to mention her, and they were in the tennis group.
Oh,
We had one boys wrestler who came for 2 weeks, and then he didn't come back. That was all we had from them. But they were given the opportunity to participate.
Okay.
But a lot of our sports that have busy summer seasons, they're not as likely to sign up in the summer because like our wrestlers are gone at a lot of freestyle stuff. But thank you guys.
Good job.
Well, thank you.
Good job.
Anything else, Dr. Summerall?
No, sir.
All right, let's move on to board member communications. Move on to individual board member comments. Suzanne, we'll start with you. No, never mind. Let's go back to the other end. Mr. Colson, we'll start with you.
I have no comment.
Mr. Wells.
Let's see.
Hey, you can go ahead and go.
Yeah, please do not feel obligated.
Yeah.
Again, thank you again.
Thank you.
Hey, we've been there, man. It's.
I really don't have any comments that I can think of other than it's related to discussion later on, but the questions that I prepare every month and send to Dr. Simmeroth and Mr. Johnson, do you guys feel like you get any value out of those responses on those? I've been doing that for 12 years, and I know that it takes up Dr. Simmeroth's time and Jason's time over here. Just wanted to think about it and see whether you think it's worth my time and their time to go through. I think there's some value.
It doesn't bother us. I mean, that's part of our job is to answer questions, so it doesn't bother us at all.
But
And I depend on you to do that because you see things that I don't because your point of view is different. And so I think it's really important, and I want you to keep doing it
okay,
for what that's worth.
does anybody else want you to not do it?
No, keep doing it. It's a small scale audit every
Yeah, I mean
month.
that's what it amounts to.
I was just gonna say, like, it's an understanding that you're doing a spot check of some different
Yeah.
things. We all look through those things, but sometimes it's good to have the financial eye, just take a look at it. So I'm sure as far as the questions that these guys get, it's probably some of the easier questions they get within the week.
Yeah, probably.
That's a fair statement.
Okay, well, thanks. That's it.
Mr. Beheimer?
No comment.
Well, I want to welcome you guys all back. Thank you for being here. I know you probably haven't had much of a summer. It sure has flown by fast. And so just best wishes for a new year. Let's get it.
We'll go ahead and keep moving on with that. Go into our upcoming meetings, events. A couple notable things to mention is we have the new teacher lunch, August 5th. It'll be held
It's
at 10
actually tomorrow,
tomorrow,
6.
6?
Yeah, today's 5.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
a
it's a
misprint.
misprint.
Just a misprint.
Misprint. Good. All right. I was about to say 11 a.m. That seems kind of early. 10 West Main at 11 a.m. Everything else on here correct. 13th for the breakfast. Yep, it's on the paper here. So breakfast this year we're gonna be holding at the Canadian County Expo Center. So we're getting good use out of the Expo Center. That'll be good. We need more room for that event.
Yeah.
And then we start back to school on the 14th. So I know everybody's excited for that.
Quick question, Jason, do you know, is there legislative breakfast in the morning?
Don't.
I know that they
If
take
I-
off for the summer, but
I
know
don't
when
think
they
it starts back until September, Mr. Wells.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to show up then.
I'm not either.
Conrad shaking his head, going no, so.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any requests for patients to address the board? All right, moving on to the finance consent docket. All right. Do we have any discussion on the finance consent docket?
Nope, all my questions were answered.
Move that we approve all the business items on the consent docket as listed.
A second.
Motion a second.
Mr. Beheimer?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Colton?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Sanders?
Yes. All right, approved. Item 7, adjunct applications. This isn't an action item, is it?
Yeah, we have to approve those and hopefully we're getting close to the end of having to do those, but classrooms need to be filled and
It's a full-time job.
it's a full-time job.
All right. Any discussion on item 7?
So I make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion and a second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right. Moving on to agenda item 8. Let's see, we have any discussion on our business consent docket for item 8? This is going to be a lot of our contracts and
A lot of contracts, sanctioning. One of the things that, well, again, you'll start to see the contracts for the Fine Arts Center, Performing Arts Center start to show up about this time of year and start rolling. It's all pretty good shirts and pretty good stuff. And, I think the directors have done a good job of replacing some of our counseling this year as well that we've lost and we've had to replace. So we want to make sure we give kids an opportunity to get some of the things that they need.
I have one question. Could you, what was it, 5 voices? Is that something new?
It is. So with the relatively new team that we have, so this is part of trying to help them with some training throughout the year. It's 9 sessions, 5 sessions, 5 hour-and-a-half sessions, plus one-on-one mentoring with an educational leader for each individual person, so that it's kind of like not only it's kind of I look at Adam and he has things he doesn't like about me, but he doesn't want to tell me. So this guy's going to he's going to teach him how to deal with it, and it's some one-to-one mentoring. And I've never done that with my team before, but over the last couple of years, I've talked to some people, and most people offer that for their cabinets in a district this size, just simply because of the challenges and the people involved and the opportunities. So that is something, that we did it with some district administrators a few years ago, but this is a new venture just for this leadership team because they have so many responsibilities and times have changed, and we want to get them some real growth opportunities, some real professional development opportunities.
What's the basis for this? Is there a curriculum? Is there a book?
It's the 5 voice. It's called 5 Voices. It's Guardian,
Written by Jeremy
Sniper.
Kubicek.
Sniper is the way they communicate. You snipe. I know. I can't remember all of them, but it helps us to learn how to deal with each other in a more professional, and others in a more professional fashion by understanding them and us.
So
And
this
you
is
and
a
us.
one-time deal?
It's
or
all year.
Okay.
It goes throughout the entire year.
But is it something we would need to do again next year, or?
No, I don't. It's not an ongoing process.
And who is in charge of this program and making it work? And
Rennie Cook, he is the gentleman from Triumph. He is the company that we're hiring to do the coaching with them.
is that the same company that'll do the training that we were talking about
Mhm.
participating in January?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, yes, whenever that comes into effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Same company, same guy.
Okay. Thank you.
we have 4 new policies be going into effect on this. Is there any discussion on those 4 new policies? I know I asked you a couple questions about the transfers for the special education
Correct.
students, and is that, we doing this, is that in regards to law or how?
Right, it's all that and the intra-district transfers, all those things have to fall in line with the capacity formula. And so those were developed, just put into play by Mr. McDaniel with that one. So most of the policies we do at this point are just adhering to new state or federal legislation. And recommended, we get most of those from the OSSBA forms that they send out.
Also point out that we got a new maintenance truck in this. That's probably long overdue and needed.
That's going to be to replace the van that is now that was the gentleman who used to do the grounds. We have a new grounds crew. You guys should drive around and look at some of our entryways and stuff. They look really, really nice. They've been working very hard. And the van is not going to be able to last much longer. So yes, that's just going to replace the van. They're doing a really good job. I see them everywhere. It's kind of nice.
I noticed the new playgrounds every time I drive by the
Mhm.
school.
We have one left at Surrey, and that'll be next summer. For all the elementaries, we'll have brand new playgrounds, part of the bond update.
Will the
And-
pre-K building out there have a playground?
Yes, it has it won't have, we're trying to work with our playground suppliers to see if they want to just generously help us out with some things. They already have playground stuff out there, but it's different because it's little people playgrounds, so it's age and size appropriate. And then I think either next month or maybe October, we're going to have our architects come in and do a presentation on the new stuff that's going on out at the high school. We should have some walls going up at the end of next week on the fine art, on the indoor facility. So when it starts coming out of the ground, then it starts looking cool. Right now, it's just millions of dollars of stuff underground being done,
Dirt and concrete.
dirt and concrete.
So I move that we approve all the business consent docket items as presented.
Motion on the table in a second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right, moving on. Do we have any new business?
No, sir.
All right, moving on to our personnel docket. Do we have any reason we need to go into executive session this evening?
It's pretty standard stuff.
Okay,
I make a motion not to convene an executive session.
got a motion on the table?
Second.
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's move on.
So do we have to vote on something?
I move that we approve all personnel items from Exhibit A.
We have a motion on the table. We have a second?
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I make a
Yes.
motion to adjourn
I
this meeting.
haven't voted yet? Yes.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second?
Motion to second?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming in early to go over